All right, you guys, what's up? What's up? All right, so today we are going to do a shoe battle here. I got two shoes with me that I actually feel are almost very similar with each other, and it's this right here, the Puma Velocity Nitro, and this, the Asics Novablast. Version 1. I have the version 2, haven't put any miles on it, but both of these shoes I've been kind of running in equally, and I wanted to share my opinions about both of them against each other because I think they're more alike than anybody wants to really see. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. Please, if you haven't done it already, please click that subscribe button. Really helps the channel out. Also, when we're done with the video, please click that like button. Really helps the channel get to a broader audience so we can do more videos about running shoe reviews, and training vlogs to just help everybody out, every runner, sharing perspectives, man. That's what it's all about. Kind of coming together as a running community. We all enjoy the sport, and we're all part of it. And we all just gotta, you know, love each other and share some opinions with each other. I think that's another important part there. So first we're going to get into the Puma Velocity Nitro, and that's because this shoe is new to the market. Yes, 2021 is when Puma decided to take a major leap forward in the running shoe world and come out with a lineup of nitrogen-infused midsole running shoes. So Puma, for a long time, they've been known for their track shoes, okay? They've been known for the Usain Bolt and running really fast and doing the track workouts and stuff like that. So, but getting into distance running, daily training and stuff like that, Puma, they've been behind. And by behind, I mean probably like 5 years behind everyone else, which is just sad because Puma is just one of those world-renowned brands that, I mean, people just love. And it was just sad to see them as far as running shoes being so far behind everyone else, you know, where Nike just took off and everybody else has been kind of following suit, and Puma just kind of stayed back and didn't really innovate. But this was kind of like their way of just coming out and saying, we mean business, and we mean business. So this and their whole Nitro lineup shoes have been absolutely phenomenal. So with this one, we've got an engineered mesh upper, which is kind of like a dual layer engineered mesh upper. Got some nice padding, kind of plush. I would almost say plush around the outside heel collar area. So it's kind of a very plush shoe. Very lightly thin padded tongue, but really nice lockdown, gusseted tongue, which is awesome. And this one has the cool adapt technology in it, which is supposed to help you keep your feet cool while you're running. And now the midsole is this nitrogen infused midsole. Now I am going to say this does have a dual layer foam system on it. So it is nitrogen infused, or the nitrogen foam midsole in the forefoot and all the way up pretty much through the heel area. It's an initial foam right up on top here in the heel area of it. Underneath is an EVA foam that Puma uses called Pro Foam, and surprisingly enough, it actually runs pretty much from about the midfoot area actually back. This is all Pro Foam that's right in here. But that's kind of, and you got all of this Puma grip underneath, which is fantastic. I love Puma grip. It's incredibly durable, incredibly grippy. I love Puma grip. It's a great shoe. And then the general specs on this shoe, I'm not exactly sure what the stack height is particularly. I would take a guess and say that it's probably about 20 or 22 in the forefoot. It's a 9mm drop on this shoe, which means it would be 29 or 31 in the heel. And it's also got this little clip back here, stability clip right back here to just kind of help keep your heel stable when it lands if you're a heel striker. Just kind of helps stabilize the heel, straighten it up, and helps you through your gait cycles. So that is quick specs on the Puma Velocity Nitro. Now moving over to the Asics Novablast here, probably one of my favorite shoes to run in, very popular shoe amongst a lot of runners, and rightfully so. Now this does have, again, kind of a, I believe this was engineered mesh. It's not the jacquard mesh. It might be the jacquard mesh, but I believe this was an engineered mesh upper, dual layer, all the way through to the heel. Lightly padded heel collar around the back, and then again kind of a lightly padded thin-ish tongue, not a gusseted tongue. Only thing that I have to knock Asics on the version 1 was not a gusseted tongue. Version 2, which I do have, does have the gusseted tongue on it, which I do really like. Now this one does have a 10mm drop for a stack height of 20, I believe it's 22 in the forefoot, 32 in the rear, I think, or it might be 20 in the forefoot. I think I got it messed up. Yeah, I think it's 22 and 32, if I'm correct. It's 22 and 32. Using this Flight Foam Blast midsole, which honestly runs very similar to what I would say Zoom X runs, maybe a little bit firmer than Zoom X, but the bounce and energy return that this shoe has is very much like Nike's Zoom X material. Nice lockdown to it, a little bit wider of a toe box than say the Velocity Nitro, but it's still just a very nice, comfortable shoe to run in. And of course, going underneath, we've got that Asics AHAR Plus rubber that I'm pretty sure will last the a nuclear apocalypse, because it is just that incredibly durable. If mankind were to become extinct and the world became a wasteland, this outsole would still be around. It's just that incredibly durable. So I got to give Asics some credit on the outsole here. So how do these shoes stack up against each other, and why am I comparing them to each other? Well, because a lot of these two shoes, there's a lot of similarities to them. They're both very breathable uppers, which is something that I like, especially out here in this Florida heat. Both of them have a very breathable upper. The Asics does have a little bit wider of a toe box compared to the Puma, but I'm not gonna lie, I like the Puma, the way that it wraps around your foot, better than the Asics Novablast. Even the heel collar, the plushness around the heel collar is so super comfortable, but the wrapping over the midfoot, the lockdown that this thing has, and then even around in the toe box, it's not wide, but it's not narrow. It's just a nice, almost feels like a sock around your foot. It is just that comfortable. I really, really like the upper on this. The tongue is nicely padded. You don't feel like the laces are cutting into your foot at all. It's just a super comfortable upper from step in to the first time you go toe off on the roads. It is just such a comfortable upper. So if I had to pick between these two shoes, I'm gonna have to pick the Puma Velocity on the upper, for comfort, even for breathability. I'm gonna give it to the Puma Velocity Nitro. It is just super, super comfortable. The lockdown is excellent. Even the heel cup is super comfortable. Never had any heel lift in this shoe. Just fantastic. Honestly, the upper in this, I think, is just absolutely amazing. They could make it a little bit more breathable, but that's only because I'm complaining because I'm in Florida and it's just too darn hot outside. But overall, I'm going to say that the Puma, I think, wins the upper contest compared to the Asics Novablast version 1. Now, going to the midsole, we got the Flight Foam Blast in the Asics Novablast, and we've got the nitrogen-infused foam in the Puma Velocity Nitro, which does also have just a little bit of Pro Foam, the EVA foam that Puma uses in the heel area to kind of help with the impacts in the heel. Also helps with a little bit of stability and durability for a little bit of that heel striking. Now, I'm a midfoot striker, so I'll be honest with you, both of these shoes feel almost identical when it comes to that landing and that energy return. Both have an incredible amount of bounce to it, and just super comfortable underfoot, whether it's from your heel area through the midfoot all the way to the toe. Both are just super comfortable. I like the kind of guide sole technology that the Asics has, so it just kind of gives you that roll forward that you know, if you're used to the glide rides, that is a pretty awesome feeling. So it's not so pronounced, but you feel it a little bit where it just kind of wants to roll forward. So you get that bounce from the from landing in the heel area with all of that foam that's sitting back here. And as that energy kind of bounces, it rolls you forward and pushes you through the gait cycle. So I really like the Novablast. And then for the Puma, doesn't have as much of of kind of like this roll to it, but the way that it flexes, the way that your foot just moves naturally in this shoe, that energy return that you get from landing midfoot or even in the heel, and that pop you get are so very similar to each other. Honestly, I've put them through the same paces with each other. I've put them through pretty much everything together, and the ride is dead even. So if I had to pick one, which one would I pick? Well, and this is where it's going to come down to stability. Now, Puma has this little heel plate clip, whatever, that's in the back of the shoe right here, okay? This little clip right here, okay? That provides just a little bit more stability than what the Novablast has. So on my days where I am feeling a little bit more sore and maybe not as stable on my feet, I tend to lean toward the Velocity. So that being said, which one would I rather run in every day? And because of that little bit of stability, even though I've put a lot of miles recently in the Novablast, I would have to pick the Velocity for those days, just because of those days where you're sore. You're still going to put in those daily training miles, and you still want that bounce and energy return, but you need that little bit of stability. This one is the better shoe to run in. That being said, for strength, I'd rather use the Novablast because it's going to help your ankles become stronger and your feet to become stronger. But again, on those days where I'm just a little bit sore, I'm just trying to put in those miles, I'm going to be reaching for this shoe. So kind of going with that. Now, going to the outsole, both are just amazing. Definitely the Novablast is made more for road running. It doesn't have the grip that you would need if you were to do some light trail running, or you know, if you're in kind of a gravel area or just on a dirt sidewalk or something like that. It's definitely not going to have a whole lot of grip there. Also, in wet conditions, you can get a little bit slick in this shoe. I've ran through some wet areas and it hasn't been too bad, but it still gets a little slick out there in this particular shoe, particularly if you get some really smooth, fresh painted tarmac or something like that. You might get a little slick in this shoe, all right? But it's incredibly durable. Incredibly durable. I'm well over 50 miles in this shoe, and there's like no wear on the bottom of this shoe. I mean, look at that. Just no wear on this thing. So so that's where I'm kind of at with the Asics. Now, the Puma Velocity Nitro, which has about 35 miles on these shoes, again, kind of the same thing. Almost no wear. But the difference between the Puma and the Asics is this Puma grip that's right here. If you're on some light dirt trails or something like that, you could easily run on those with this. It's got the grip to do it. I mean, look at those lugs that are on there. That is insane. Just insane with the depth that's on there. You see that? It's just insane. So I'm gonna kind of go out there and say versatility wise, I'm gonna go with the Puma Velocity Nitro. I'm shocking myself actually now that I'm sitting here thinking about it. So I'm gonna go versatility wise. I'm gonna go the Puma Velocity Nitro. If you're caught in the rain, you're out, some gravel in the roadway, light trail, and you could do it in this. And it's durable too, because I mean, even at 35 miles, which I know is not as much as what I have on those, but even at 35 miles, this has like no wear on it. Wow. And like I said, the bounce and energy return both have a decoupled groove, but the Asics definitely has a deeper decoupled groove than the Puma. Okay, so it does have a decoupled groove, it's just not as deep as what you get on the Asics. Whew. Wow, I'm kind of surprising myself at this particular point, because I thought for sure, I love the Novablast, by the way. Like, that is like, every day I go out for a run and it's just a run, I'm reaching for the Novablast. I really am. Like, this is by far like my favorite shoe to run in right now. But if I'm looking, now that I'm comparing these two side by side to each other, yeah, I think that's actually a better shoe. I really do. And then we're gonna go price point on this one. So we're gonna talk about the price point. So this is the Novablast 1, okay? So the Novablast 1 you're finding right now on Asics website for, I believe it's $109.99. Okay, so $110 for this shoe, US dollars. Some retailers are selling it for a lot cheaper, but I'm going based on the manufacturer's websites, not not any individual retailer. So this is $109.99, which is a pretty decent deal. Now, brand new, this was $130 US dollars, but I'm going to base it off the sales price right now because we're talking about the version 1. This is $120 US dollars. Now, difference is Puma offers discount codes regularly, and you could get this shoe a lot cheaper. So that almost puts them comparable with each other value-wise. I can say that I got this shoe at a relatively good price. That was cheaper than what this one was. So if I had to pick, value-wise, I'm going to have to go with the Puma on this one. And I think the construction of it is a little bit better. Sorry guys, I lost my light. It seems to be a trend. But I feel like the value of this shoe is just a little bit better. I think the construction is a little bit better. But that's not to say anything about the Novablast. I think it's a fantastic shoe. So if we're going by a battle here, I got to go the Velocity Nitro is the clear winner in this particular battle based on everything that we've discussed, but I still find myself reaching for the Novablast. Sorry about the lighting, guys. It kind of stinks, but but there you have it. So it looks like the Velocity Nitro is the winner in this particular battle, but I still reach for the Novablast. I love the shoe. I will still love this shoe. I'm going to put more miles in this. It's so much fun to run in this shoe. That's all I can really say. I mean, this shoe is just so much fun to run in. I enjoy every bit of it. So if you guys like the video, please click that like and subscribe button below. And, tune in for another video hopefully here soon. And as always, guys, enjoy the run.